Hey, 50 Cent buys Revolt from P. Diddy for like $50 million, man, because P. Diddy, he has to get rid of everything in his whole collection and his catalog because the lawsuits are coming. It was 4 to 5 victims that just filed a whole new report against Diddy. DJ Academics broke down the whole entire thing, and the result from the whole entire matter was that they're going to trial with it. Diddy, he's going to have to come up with another $47 million to pay off the judgment. This is due to the fact that the allegations that have been coming out from 2002 about what Diddy did with his ex-girlfriend is all coming back to bite him in the end, because now he got caught red-handed. They found the footage and they have 2 key witnesses that are going to step forward and testify against P. Diddy. Gene Deal, his bodyguard, has already made statements actually claiming the facts that Diddy, he set up Tupac, he set up Cassie. It was a lot of people who got caught up in the mix. A lot of the people that firsthand knew what was going on, they couldn't speak on it. They signed NDAs specifically with Diddy saying that they couldn't actually talk on that matter. This is why the justice for Cassie and Tupac has taken so long. If you guys are actually rocking with Tupac and advocating for him, and y'all are big fans of everybody, or if you don't like Diddy or something like that, just let me know in the comment section. Put the 222s if you guys are rocking with Tupac, Cassie, 50 Cent, all of that, man, because coming out of New York is NYPD doing the whole entire RICO on Diddy. And this is because after all these years, man, everything that he did, the karma is catching up to him, because Diddy, his name was been thrown around for all these rumors and things like that from a lot of people, a lot of celebrities, a lot of talk shows was talking about him. People, they actually didn't want to come out and say anything because they thought that if P. Diddy found out that they said something about him or they exposed the real truth of what's going on, they thought he was going to fire them and they'd be kicked out and everything like that. This is why a lot of people, they took their time with it. They was talking with all the lawyers, the DAs and the attorneys, and they figured out that in 2023 going on 2024 was the time to come forward, because they already working on the RICO for the Tupac case. Kei D, he actually is the one that told like Diddy, and he told about how Diddy knew him already, how he was already having these weird relationships, the ex-girlfriends. Every time that Kei D called him, it was Cassie yelling in the back, yelling for help and everything like that. Like, she was cuffed and chained up, couldn't get nothing. There was 24-hour lockdown for her. They brought her water in a petri dish like it was a bad situation. They gave her a granola bar that had all the nutrients she needed, and so she didn't get to eat no regular food or nothing like that. This was the type of stories that was going on about how P. Diddy was doing people like that. And a lot of people, they think that this is all true, that it actually happened, because he wouldn't have paid them the $30 million. He wouldn't have had to give them the hush money and try to get all those cases dropped on him. He wouldn't have did that if he actually was innocent. Like, this means that for him to pay the judgments and try to get this record wiped off, that means he actually did it. P. Diddy was found guilty of these things, and they were going to take him to a trial for it. The grand jury, they were going to be on Cassie's side and they were going to be on Tupac's side. After they heard the statements from Sugeknight and Kei D, there was nothing that was going to convince them that P. Diddy wasn't the one that set these people up, man. And at the end of the day, people know that for the last 30 years and 27 years since Tupac, it's been a big secret that no one wanted to be the person that came out and said it. But actually, it made it to where Kei D, even the person who was involved and did it, he ended up snitching on himself and actually brought this whole entire case onto P. Diddy. And from him writing the book, going on the interviews, he was on Vlad, he was on a lot of different platforms. He was telling Diddy's business and talking about how Diddy gave him $1 million to take Tupac out. And like, he even went forward enough to say that he cut the check, had him on a beeper, they had each other's contact information saved. He told him about the whole way it happened and everything. He talked about the middleman, Von Zip. He talked about Cassie and Diddy. He had to leave Cassie out of the room. Like, he had to tell Cassie to leave the room so he could call and let Kei D and Sugeknight know that he was going to set Tupac up and Biggie up on hits, man. This is a lot of things that people say that the karma is getting him back for. There's no way that Diddy could have had all that fame, all that money. And it's like, at that point, everybody was cool with him. They were showing him on TV. He was in the movies and all that. Then all of a sudden something happened this year that switched everything up. Now nobody wants to be around P. Diddy. No one wants to be affiliated with him. They actually are like taking off the work that they did with him. They're deleting a lot of the footage because they know that they don't want to be caught with a person who was setting people up like that and doing things to Cassie. It was a lot of unexplainable things that he has no, like, there's no justification for what P. Diddy did, man. Diddy, he was wrong for that, and a lot of people know. And this is why a lot of the hip-hop fans right now, they're disappointed in Diddy, that he, like, everybody helped him get to the billionaire status by listening to his music, going to the shows, supporting his artists and all that kind of stuff. And this is what he does to us. This is what he does to our community, man. It's a shame that people will get to that status, get to that level of fame, fortunes and everything, but they still think about just themselves. They still trying to screw over people, rip people off, man. P. Diddy, he gave back to the community, but it was just to cover the tracks and like cover up a lot of the wrongs that he did. He gave $1 million to Howard University only because he threw a party there like early in the 90s where people got trampled. A lot of people got like hit up at that party, man, because Diddy, he made them go crazy. Like he said something and he had the whole crowd run to like a specific spot. And when they try to get out the exit, a lot of people was falling and getting stepped on, trampled. Like, this is how 3 people got sent up from that. And so there's still karma. So people knew that Diddy was gonna be getting in trouble this year. So before he went broke and lost all the money in the millions, that's when Cassie came up. She tried to get her thing done, her deal done. Like Kei D, he came up, he had to testify because he knew that if he was gonna get the money from Diddy to not tell on him, or to do whatever it was that he needs, that it was now or it was like now or never. And once he found out that all these people was coming after Diddy for everything from his ex-girlfriends, the ex-wives, the people that was working for him that he did wrong and everything like that, Danity Kane, Kei D knew that something big was about to happen to Diddy. So that's why he came forward with his information, and he took the hit for the Tupac temporarily, but just so that he could get on the stand and might point at Diddy and say he's the one that wrote the $1 million check. Now Kei D has already said this in his book. He already said it in the Vlad interview. He already said it in the Art of the Dialogue interview. This is nothing new. Like Kei D, he voluntarily gave forward the statements and information. He went against the code of conduct that he stands on business for, as from like whatever he is, Kei D, whatever he represents and thinks he is, he went against that by telling on Diddy, like, and saying it in the statements, in the interviews, knowing that the feds watch Vlad, knowing that the feds listen to these things because they actually had an ongoing trial. They had an ongoing investigation to figure out what happened to Tupac, to get the info from that, because they know that Kei D was the last surviving person inside that white Cadillac. And so when they knew that he moved back to the jurisdiction that Tupac got hit up in, that's when LAPD made the connect with them to go ahead and put tabs on Kei D to watch where he's going. Then one day when he went on a walk, they caught him up walking back in the garage, raided everything, found the shell casings. They found evidence back from the Tupac scene that Kei D held this whole entire time. How did he hide the exact shell casings and all of these items from 30 years, 27 years ago? Like, why did he do that? And why did he keep it with him in the garage and then move back to the same city that all of this happened at, and the same police in 12 came and busted down his door and found the items he was hiding? This whole entire thing sounds like they plotting, they getting Diddy because he's the mastermind. He's the one that like sent the money, and they trying to get the kingpins. They trying to get the big dogs, the higher ups, man, because they want to know exactly like how it was planned and who's the guy that orchestrated the whole thing and set this whole thing into a spiral, man. Y'all gotta like stay for the updates and subscribe to the channel.